What it do, comic bros? It's your boy Super Duper Sean, and I'm back with another video. Today we talking about The Batman Part 2. Where is it? When will it drop? It seems like it keeps getting delayed, with the most recent delay saying it doesn't come out until 2028. I'm thinking that is cap. We can't believe all rumors that we hear, but damn, when is The Batman 2 dropping? We do not want the fan base to lose interest. Now, there's an article from CBR.com that kind of talks about Matt Reeves, Batman, and the James Gunn debacle of him also shooting a Batman and Robin, or the Batman, the Bold and the Brave. I got the article for you right here. I'm going to read it and then give my insight on how I feel about DC shooting two different Batman movies, and why it could be good and why it could be bad. But before I get into that, I need y'all to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hitting that like button pushes this video through the algorithm, and it helps me out more than any Cash App donation. So if you really rock with your boy, go ahead and smash that like button now. I already feel like I've been talking too much. Let's get in this article. Run it. Matt Reeves' Batman saga could suffer the same fate as another beloved superhero film series. After the successful first film, Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 is one of the most eagerly anticipated superhero films in recent years. The anticipation has only grown after years of delays in development on the sequel, and people like Colin Farrell are now saying it was worth the wait. The Batman Part 2 will also follow the success of Farrell-led The Penguin spin-off series, which quickly became one of the most well-received comic book adaptations ever to hit television. Despite being another Batman reboot, Reeves' take on Gotham City's elevated the superhero genre, which is why it's one of the few pieces from the previous DC regime to continue under DC Studios. Unlike most of DC Studios' titles, The Batman Part 2 will survive under the Elseworlds label and exists outside the DCU. Therefore, DC Studios is also developing a separate Batman project in the DCU. Let me just comment on this, then I'll jump back to the article. I like it being an Elseworld because I don't want Matt Reeves tied to any continuity. I know people are just like, just bring it into the DCU. Don't do that, because we got James Gunn building the DCU the way he wants to build it, and maybe Reeves' ideas kind of clash in the direction that James wants to go. But we just can't scrap Reeves' Batman. It was one of the most profitable movies to come out that year. I think it was the 7th most profitable film of 2022. Not to mention, it did make a profit of $177 million. That blows the predecessors out of the water, such as Superman and Batman, which only made $105 million, and Superman Man of Steel, which only made $45 million. Now, I chose those movies because we expect a character like the Batman to outsell a Blue Beetle. We expect a character like the Batman to outsell a Aquaman. So we can only compare it to itself. So Batman and Superman, you got two of DC's biggest heroes on screen. That's a fair comparison. Superman, that's a fair comparison. And those were the SNYDERS films, and we can see that Matt Reeves' Batman was pretty profitable. So it definitely deserves to stick around. Let's keep it moving. DC Studios is also developing a separate Batman project in the DCU titled The Brave and the Bold, directed by Andy Muschietti, and intended to explore a different side of the character with the live-action debut of Damian Wayne. DC Studios' plans for the Batman franchise have been among the most fascinating to watch as it unfolds in uncharted territory, with two separate live-action film series releasing around the same time. I don't agree with that, releasing around the same time. You should make them at least 2 years apart. We do not want the superhero fatigue, because the superhero fatigue is real. In my opinion, the Marvel movies have not gotten worse. People have just gotten superhero fatigue, and that's why they're not selling as much as they used to. We are in the era where we are consuming so much superhero content that people are just tapping out. I've heard people say, man, I am just tired of Marvel and DC. So don't get me wrong, some of the films are a little bit on the lackluster side, but there have been a lot of good quality series and a lot of good quality movies in the last 5 years. But the abundance, and I mean the abundance of the material, has created superhero fatigue. Let's get back into this article. As a result, some want to see Reeves' Dark Knight become part of the DCU, while others welcome a new cinematic version of Batman for the new universe. Looking back at past superhero franchise, there's a chance Reeves' crime saga could end up like another film series that never fulfilled its potential, simply because the landscape keeps changing. Now, I want to talk about James Gunn's The Brave and the Bold, or his Batman. It seems like Reeves and James Gunn are going in 2 totally different directions. Reeves is taking the more dark, brooding, mature, straight emotional emo Batman route, which is working for how dark he paints the city of Gotham. And let's keep it real, coming from the Nolan trilogies, we are used to seeing Batman in his more darker tone. It seems like James Gunn is taking Batman to a more of a teacher, to more of a father, taking that take on Batman, which we have not seen. He plans to debut Damian Wayne in his movie. So you know he's not just gonna be super dark. I mean, he's gonna have his son with him, and that is a dope take. I expect James Gunn to embrace Grant Morrison's Batman run, because let's not forget, Grant Morrison was the first one to introduce Damian Wayne as Batman and Son, an issue that is beloved to this very day. Now, this take on Batman will be refreshing, because we have not seen Batman and Robin together on screen in a while. But when I do think of lighter Batman movies, I tend to think of the Batman and Robin with George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And man, I don't want to see a Batman movie like that ever again. Hey, just keep it dark if it goes to something like that. For real. It was just horrible. Chill out. Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze. Are you serious, man? But with both of these directors going in 2 different directions, it's easy to understand why Matt Reeves wants his Batman to remain in his own world. But creating 2 different Batman titles could confuse fans. Now, fans like us, me, speaking for myself, and the person watching this video, we are gonna go see it because we are what you call comic book purists, superhero fanboys. We're gonna go see it all. Even if we don't like something, we gonna watch it because we are just fans of it. But they want to get that money, so they want to pull new people in. They want to pull new fans in that may have never even heard of Batman. They want to turn on a whole new generation. And if you want to do that, I just don't think the smart idea is isolating your audience. One standing over here with Patterson and one standing over here with Gunn. People can be like, I'm only gonna go see Batman if it's in the DCU, because James Gunn's running the DCU and it's gonna lead to something bigger. It's gonna lead to a massive story. I'm not gonna go mess with an Elseworld that's a self-contained story and has nothing to do with the big picture of the DCU in the grand scheme of things. See, you can actually split the audience in half and the movies could cancel out each other. That could easily happen. And that's what you don't want if you're one of these billion-dollar companies investing in the Batman movie. Now, I am excited for both, but if I had a choice, I am leaning towards Matt Reeves. He is more proven. I mean, he created a series based on Gotham without Batman, and it won an Emmy. Imagine what he can do with Batman in the series. We already seen how great the Batman was. We already seen him as a great detective, him hand in hand with Jim Gordon. That's what people were clamoring for a while, and we finally got it. It worked on screen beautifully. Now he builds the city of Gotham, builds up the villains of Gotham, constantly creating interest, creating value, and DC just can't turn away from that. Even though they just gave the keys to James Gunn, they know how valuable Matt Reeves' vision for Batman and how profitable it can be. That's the main thing. They know how profitable Matt Reeves' Batman vision can be. But that's all I got on that one. Tell me what y'all think about in the comments below. Would y'all rather have James Gunn at the helm, or would y'all rather have Matt Reeves at the helm? If you had to pick, would you want the Batman and Robin movie, or would you want the Batman 2 sequel? Since we are getting both, do you think it is a bad idea? I just hope that whatever the budget is, I want the budgets to remain big. I don't want one project to take from the other project, because what if one project bombs and then they're like, well, that last Batman movie bombed. Why would we even throw money at another one when this one didn't do well? That's why it's kind of important for whichever comes out first for it to do well. The Batman 2 has to do well. It has to do well, especially with Warner Brothers going up for grabs. The new owner could just buy it and scrap it. Can totally scrap it. I don't think they will, because at least Matt Reeves has the numbers to prove that his vision is profitable. But James Gunn, on the other hand, he's yet to prove it. So when the time comes, you know I will be covering it on Power of Comics. I'm your boy, Super Duper Deuces.